This conference will now be recorded.
Yesterday we reviewed SAP DataSphere course content. As part of the course content, I explained the scenario, the content, what we are going to activate, and what are the points which we are going to learn in the SAP DataSphere course. Today I planned one simple demo, right? It's on finance and sales. In this demo, we are going to explore SAP DataSphere and SAP Analytics Cloud both. So I generated some models. I created some models in the SAP DataSphere, and those models we are going to use it in the SAP Analytics Cloud to create some stories. So the sample data set, whatever we have now, it's relevant to finance and sales. So best and bike sample data used, and this sample data we prepared to explore SAP DataSphere in SAC. How we can use SAP DataSphere models in SAC. That's what we are going to understand based on this business scenario. The finance data, whatever data we have, the finance data, it's daily transactions posted in the Best on Bikes company, financial transactions. And this transactional data have like products, customers, general ledger accounts, profit centers. These dimensions are associated to these financial transactions. And sales data, we have sales orders, sales order items relevant to Best on bikes, and they have associations with products, business partners, and the sales order and sales order items view. So this is what we are going to understand. So let's create some simple reports on finance and sales, and let's understand how how these reports are created based on DataSphere models, analytical models. I'm connecting to SAC first. So SAC is the front end. So here you have SAP DataSphere and you have Analytics Cloud. So I'm going to the SAP Analytics Cloud because we are going to use SAP stories for the dashboard creations. I'm going to the stories, canvas. So now this is SAP Analytics Cloud screen. Yeah. From the screen, I want to create a story. In that story, I want to call basically DataSphere data. So I'm clicking on this particular table. So I'm inserting the table and I'm connecting to the DataSphere model. All the DataSphere connections are available here. From SAC, you can create your own DataSphere connection, and you can connect to you can call your DataSphere models here. Let's say I created one connection which is 154,773, this one. So my models are part of this space. So I'm opening the space, and I have different models which can be used for this story. So I'm using financial transactions model. Now I want to see the P&L statement, let's say. So the model, this is the finance transactions model, which is from the DataSphere. That the data source is DataSphere. Now I can add the rows and dimensions. So let's say I'm adding the GL account, and I can filter it out. I want P&L statement, so I can filter it out the net income. Only net income I'm picking up. We can expand this to some level 6 to the lower levels. Now you can see the data shown here. Even you can add multiple years here. For example, I can add dimensions, date. I want to see the year here. So 2018, 2019. So we can hide the view, left side view. So I have different years here. So we have data which is available in the DataSphere. We created a live connection. From the live connection, we are showing the data here. And you can see here is my GL account hierarchy, financial statement version. I can see my net income here, and you feel like, I mean, the user can feel like he's working on a simple pivot table. And I can create one more table for the sales transactions. Let's say I'm creating page 2. I'm inserting a table. For this table, I want to change the connection data source. I want to use another data source, which is sales. So this is the one I am using. So now this is my sales amount, and I can add the dimensions what I need. So I can see the data based on the product category. Right? So I have different product categories. Based on the product categories I can see, and also as I said, like we can also look at the data based on the date, month or year, whatever the way we want. We can also show the data in the fiscal year period. So the periods of data you can see here. Not only tables, right? We can also insert some charts. So I'm inserting a chart, right? The bar or column chart, whatever. So here I want net amount. So net amount I want based on the sales organization. So I can add the dimension sales organization. So that you can see the different regions, and this region wise the net sales, net amount. So I can prepare the dashboards whatever I want. I can create a overview page, I can create a detail page, even I can activate the content, and I can connect these data sources whatever I developed. Now you saw these two data sources which uh, for the we have some sample data set, and we created some tables and we created some charts also. So how can I connect DataSphere models to SAC? So for example, if you see this SAP underscore SC underscore FI AM transactions, financial transactions. So where is it? So basically we have a analytical model in the DataSphere. So now I'm going to the DataSphere. This is my DataSphere screen. In the DataSphere, we have we have to develop some analytical models. So I can see this is called data builder. In the data builder you can develop tables, views, models, analytical models, flows in the sense of data flow, transformation flow, replication flows. So analytical models. So I have, see, if you observe here, SAP SCFIAM finance transaction. So this is the model you can see here, SAP SCFIAM transactions. So it's a live connection. So here I can, if you open this finance transactions, so I'm in the DataSphere now. So this is an analytical model. Yeah. In the analytical model, what in DataSphere analytical model, you can add measures. For example, in Bex query, in BW Bex query, you use restricted key figure, calculated key figures, right? In, see, for example, in FI also you can run. Let's say in the SAP Analytics Cloud, if you want to add some calculations, you can easily add. For example, let's say I'm restricting the year to 2021. So I want to understand the difference variance of these two, so I can simply go here. SSE is very flexible for the calculations, so I can get the difference here, percentage difference. It's easy. I can calculate the difference. I can calculate. I can calculate the difference percentage. I can have some more calculations here. Same way in DataSphere also, but the SAC is user friendly, right? DataSphere, it is for consultants. So for the development of these analytical models and all those things, reporting wise, right? When you compare with SAC, DataSphere is not that good, right? DataSphere is for ETL tool basically. So here also in DataSphere also, if you want, you can add the measures, whatever you want. See here, calculated measures, restricted measures, currency conversion measures, all those things. So this analytical model basically system generates based on a fact model, fact view basically. We call it as fact view. So here you can see this is called fact view. So in the widget control, you can move here. So this is the fact view. So in this fact view, I have different attributes. Based on the attributes, I can create the analytical model. So I can preview the data. For example, in DataSphere also, based on this analytical model, if I want to preview the data, I can click on this preview data here in the DataSphere. So it's like if you remember analysis for Office, same. It looks like same analysis for Office screen. Here I can add the GL account. I can add the GL account, and we can use the filter also here. So I can select this filter, right? So whatever you want, you can select those filters. Now here, if you want only descriptions or only IDs, that also available here. In the presentations, I can take only descriptions. If you want only the hierarchy, you can enable the hierarchy. Here you can select the hierarchy. So by default flat representation, you can also select the hierarchy. You can see the net income hierarchy here. So the preview, it's look like same analysis for Office, like what you said, Data Explorer. So we can go to the model from here. So what on so for example, if you know the analytical, tomorrow when you work for a project, so you have a report. From the report you want to understand underlying modeling in the data sphere, it's very easy. So here you have something called impact and lineage analysis. When you click on impact and lineage analysis, it shows the dependencies, right? So this particular analytical model, whatever you see, that is developed on top of a view, fact view, financial transactions. That financial transactions are created. This view is created on top of table, which is financial transactions. So the base table is financial transactions. You can see this is the base table, local table. On top of this local table, they use some transformation, data flow, and the data flow from this, in this data flow, they are, I mean, they are deriving some year or some field. So again, after deriving, they are storing in this table. So for example, if you see in this finance transaction, here you have 11 fields. These are 11 columns, means 11 fields. So in the data flow, they are adding one more field. So now in the target table, you have 12 fields. And you can see the dependency analysis here. Dependency analysis means in this particular analytical model, we use lot of associations. Associations means, so in the financial transactions, you need GL account text, hierarchies, profit center text. You need product relevant text, right? So all those things you can see here, how the particular financial transaction, this particular analytical model associated with different dimensions, you can see here. So for example, GL account I want to understand. So GL account texts are there, GL account types like like income expense, those types, GL account text, GL account hierarchies, all together they created a dimension view which is called GL account dimension view. In this dimension view, so for example, see, to create this dimension view, they all use some views, dependent views, and some tables also they used. So in order to check this view, you can just click on this, you can go to that particular view. Now you can see GL accounts and GL account, GL text, you have two tables. Yeah, these two tables inner joins, because we have text table separately, we have ID attributes table separately, right? Both we are doing the inner join, then we are whatever fields we want, right? We are going to project. So here also you can use the widget control to move. So in this GL account dimension, so now I have only account type, language, and description. If you see the projection is having lot of many fields, but among those fields I selected only 4 fields, and this GL account dimension is having 3 associations, and you can see the associations here. This is hierarchy association. That's why you can view the hierarchy in the table in the analytical model. So in order to develop a particular scenario, so we open this particular story. In this story you have different fields. So for example, you have account. When you click on add dimensions, you can see different fields. So you have profit center, right? So the profit center, basically it's developed in DataSphere. It's a kind of a view developed. That view is associated your financial transaction model. That's why you can see here, and you can see the attributes also, transaction and all this, and profit center hierarchy also available. So now once you develop a model in the DataSphere, you can use that model directly in the SAC. Even you can use, let's say, if you want to create an input control, you can control on top of these dimensions. So let's say profit center. So somewhere profit center will be there. Dimension. You have product. Okay, sales data, you have profit center. Here also you have profit center. So, oh, this is sales order. See, it is showing. Oh, it is changing here also. Okay, the model here, when I select here, so here, yeah, here it is by default, it is taking the sales one. So we need to take the financial transactions dimensions, and you can see the profit center. In the profit center, let's say I want to check the BDM description. I want to filter by member. So whatever members are there, all the members, I want to use it for the filter. So here I can add this input control. I can move this to right side. Now you can see here, I can select whatever. So let's say only cruise cycles I want. I can apply these selections here. Now only cruise cycles it is going to show. And if I want all, I can select all and apply this selection. So basically what I'm trying to say, you can use all the functionalities in SAC when you have a DataSphere model. When you are developing the DataSphere model, you have to develop some of that local tables, some views, graphical views, text views, and these views can be language dependent, time dependent, and you can enable the hierarchies, whatever you need for the analytics purpose. Right? So this is the simple demo I planned for today. Yeah. Any questions? So you can so this, to activate this one, so I just activate the SAP delivered content and I developed this one. So you can also perform the same thing in when you have the basic trial. Any questions? Right. So we will start this session.
Jan, I have
Go
a
ahead. Go ahead.
question.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at the screen with all the relationships, we
Hmm.
have one first table with the text and one table with the attributes
Hmm.
of the
Correct.
account. Can you show that and explain me why you're using the text table twice? Is the same table?
No, no. One is for GL account type text. Another one is GL account text.
Yes, that's what I mean. You have the text, it's it's above, and then you're using that with 5 columns. And below, you have again the same text, and you're only filtering 3 columns in these
So you
relationships.
are saying in this dependency analysis, right? So you are saying go to the GL accounts, correct? Right. I
This
went
is
here.
the example you gave, and I
Correct.
see five. Why it has account types? What is this table? Is the same one below?
No, no, no. See, account type means income, expense, right? Those account types are there, right? Assets, liabilities. So those are the codes here. Those texts here. That text. GL account text means the GL accounts whatever we use, like cash account. Those accounts texts are here. So these are two different things.
But the origin is the same. If you see below, that is an actual. Where is this table below?
Which one? This one.
Uh,
This.
that one, yeah. This the SCFIT, right?
Hmm. So this is one table where you have GL account and their text. Here in this table, right, you have GL account type and text. So for
Type.
example, yeah, so if you go here, so this is the table. In this table, you have account type and text. And if you see the data in this, AST means asset,
Yes.
right? So when you talk about other table, this GL account text, this is different
Ah.
things. So where you have GL accounts and their text.
So in the relationship, only one table will be displayed once, or sometimes also the same table can be twice.
So however, how your view, see, it is based on the view you developed. In the view, whatever associations are there, all the associations it will show in the lineage analysis.
Okay, sometimes the same table is in the
So in the
displayed
same
twice.
table we will not use, right? When you are associating one table, one time only you are associate because you are going to
Only
associate because you need one connection between one common field between these two. You see, these are the GL accounts and their text.
the text description. Hmm.
Hmm.
And
Right.
in
Yeah.
the previous level,
Hmm.
from this relationship, you see the flow in DataSphere.
Correct. Correct.
So can we
So,
just go quickly through that flow? Not this level of detail, the previous one.
uh, okay, okay, okay. Data analysis. This one.
This level of detail. So the first table, where is this table located? In the
So
left.
this table is located. It's a local table. In this table, you have all your finance transactions.
Is this in S4 or BW, or is this in
It's
DataSphere?
it is in the data sphere. For this financial transaction table, we can load data from different sources. So we have
Okay,
to
so
replicate data to this particular table.
this is only like the structure of the table. There's no data.
No.
It could
So
it could
when you
be a
see
live
this
connection,
icon, this is a physical table. When I say local table, it's a physical table. Data is stored in this particular table,
but not in the live connection, right?
not in the live connection. Yes, it's a
So it can.
import. We have to import the data to this.
This is an import example, import
Correct.
connection example.
Exactly. Correct. Correct.
So this is okay for importing data.
Mm.
And then what is the flow you from
So
this
this
table?
flows in this finance transaction, right? So I'm getting all, let's say I'm getting date wise data, right? Current date, whatever the date the transaction is booked, that data I'm getting here. So now here one data flow is developed. Data flow is basically it picks up the data from this finance transaction and it identifies the date, and from the date it takes the year and it will fill that year in a separate column. Only year, right? For that I created this data flow.
Exactly. I see.
Okay, so here 11, this 12th. The 12th one is basically the year we developed, the new column.
So this is storing only the modified, and the rest of the columns are stored
Same.
only on the original table. Or are you
No,
duplicating the
no, no.
storage?
Yes, I'm duplicating the storage. So whatever financial transactions are available here, all the transactions after transformation, it's stored in this financial transaction transformed table. It's a new table.
Yes. And then you have the view. The view does not store the data. So we don't have the
Yes,
problem of limitation here of gigabyte.
exactly. Correct.
And this storage all runs against our space of
Correct.
both those
It's
tables.
exactly correct.
Yes. And then the next level, what is this called? A cube. So
It's
this
a
is a view.
analytical model. Analytical model.
This model also storing information, or is it just reading?
It's reading. So it's analytical model on top of this view. It's reading this view and it's generating the data. So whatever. So this is the target when we are here. You see this one. So this is basically it's kind of a Bex query, right?
Exactly.
So here, so analytical model is kind of a Bex query. It's on top of a info provider. For this info provider is this one, the view whatever you saw right previously. That view on top of this view we are generating the query.
The
That's what
analytical
analytical
model.
model.
So once I am in SAC, I am also just looking at the analytical model, which is uh,
Exactly. Correct.
reading, okay, data from DataSphere, which is stored in somewhere in the cloud.
Exactly. Correct.
Hmm.
Correct.
No, no, Kiran, like clarify one thing, right? So here we are persisting data only in the source table, right? We are not storing data anywhere else, okay? Either in data flow or like in the further upstream. Is that right?
You can store, see for example when you transform, so when you are adding new data, new column you are creating and you are deriving some new column, then you can create another table and you can fill the new table from the source. You can load the data to that. I mean system automatically loads when you transform the data
No, 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 my
to the
question is like
target table.
you have like analytical model, right? In the final step, okay? In this
Haha.
scenario, whether that
Hmm.
analytical model does contain any data,
No,
it
so
won't,
it's
right?
picking up.
Meaning,
So see here,
yeah,
if you see there is a view here,
right.
right? So you see this view,
Yes, yeah.
financial transaction view, right?
Mm-hmm.
SAP FI SQL transactions, correct? So this is the view.
Mm-hmm.
It's talking about this, see, on top of this view, right? So this view is created on the table. So this view is not having any data. That means analytical model is a back query kind of stuff. So it is going to store, it is not going to store any data. It's going to use a select statement. It is will not use like any insert or something. It selects the data from the source tables directly based on the views.
Yeah, because from the SAC, when you're creating a live connection, you're like trying to consume this analytical model, right?
Correct. Correct.
So this analytical model also, okay, will fetch the data from underlying base table, okay, while applying
Mhm.
all the transformations in the middle,
Exactly.
okay,
Mm.
during runtime, right? So meaning in the data sphere, there is no data persistency. Is that right?
DataSphere, there is a data persistence because if you persistency there because you see this is the actual table. After transforming, I am filling the data into
Yeah.
another table here.
Yeah, but these things will happen during runtime, right? It won't happen upfront. Right. Okay.
No. When you run the data flow, automatically it fills the data. It's not runtime. Physically, the data is stored here before executing this analytical model.
Okay. Okay.
Because many clients are being charged huge bills due
Yes.
to storage limitation.
Okay. Hmm.
That's the reason actually, keeping data is costly in cloud, right? So
So it is, see, basically you have remote tables also. No need to, it's this demo is developed based on the import, right? You can always use the remote tables to get the live data, which is in
okay.
S4 HANA or any other source. Yeah.
So you're
So
talking about live connections.
yeah, exactly, correct. So that is also possible, right? So either way you can use, which is possible. If it is costly or you don't want to share your data, you can use remote, not an issue. Remote tables, data sources.
Okay, I have two more questions
So
actually. SAC will not be covered as part of this course. Is that right?
not
SAC.
extensively, just we will create some stories and we will add some tables, not
Okay.
extensively. So I can share some videos so that you can practice yourself.
Okay. Next thing, what about like BW bridge? Would you be covering that one as well?
BW bridge I'm going to cover, right?
Yeah.
But there is no hands-on exercise, but I will give you the videos. Looking at that, you can easily handle the project.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Thank
Kiran,
Hmm.
so the connection what you did with the data builder, right? We also got the business builder, right? So, what is the
Correct.
best practice in the market? You should always report it from the business builder, or what is the best practice?
So business builder is basically created for the user flexibility, right? So as I said yesterday, so you have web development tools, you have extension tools in S4HANA. The extension tools can be used by the business power users, someone, they can even extend the CDS views using that extension tools. It's like graphical interface to do the same thing what you do in the ABAP development tools. ABAP development tools, you need a programming skill or you need some development skills, right? When the same thing when you perform here in the extension tools, it's a graphical view. You don't need any uh, 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 programming skills, right? It is like low code, you can say, no code, you can say. The same way, data builder, you can do the complex calculations and all those things in the data builder. On top of that, the business builder, they can create their own facts, their own dimensions, their own models, and they can develop some calculations because they are very good in the calculations. All those calculations they have idea, they can create their own KPIs, then their KPI relationships, and they can develop their consumption models. So it's they are giving an option to the business user to build their own reporting KPIs.
Okay. So, sounds like a bit of a replication of thing what has been done in
Yes,
the
it's a
data builder.
replication. Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
that's the
and
base.
always SAC can connect only to the analytical model, or can connect to that SQL
Both business
tables you have.
SQL. No, it connects to the analytical models.
Analytical model only. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right.
you.
So we will. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like just as a general question again, right? How is like data, I mean, adoption actually of this data sphere in the market? Are there many
See
implement?
now. So see
Yeah,
now. Market in the sense. See
yeah,
you now. SAP released something called Business Data Cloud. You all know, right?
yeah.
So how the business data cloud works? So business data cloud having some insight apps. So they developed very good tool. For example, working capital management, they come up with an app. Cash flow, they come up with an app, right? So when you open that app, the app gets the data. So the apps are developed in SAC, right? Using SAC technology, dashboarding technology, and the SAC in turn calls the DataSphere models for the data. So whatever now you see SAC call the DataSphere, in this DataSphere models, it's going to call. So in the future, whenever you see the BDC requirement, right? Because you have SAC idea, SAP DataSphere idea. Only if you, I mean, DataSphere is Databricks is basically a third-party product, right? So you can easily handle those products. BDC. So DataSphere is it's good and it is going to have good market in the future. Now it has also it will continue.
So if we have an embedded BPC client trying to move to DataSphere, is that sometimes going to be run in parallel.
So
And
BPC embedded, see, it's a planning tool, right? So then we have to think about the SAC, not
always
data.
with,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
SAC without DataSphere
We will
can.
discuss all these things later. Any other questions from other participants on the
Thank,
course, right?
thank you
We
very
will
much.
we will start. We will discuss this one next week sometime.
Sorry,
All
sorry.
right.
We'll see you
Yep.
next Saturday. Thank you.
Yeah, next Saturday. So next Saturday is the first session, right? Whomever is interested, just send an email to me. Yeah, I will reply to your email tomorrow. I will send all the recordings to you. Yeah. Any other questions
Kiran,
on the course?
timing is going to be same. Timing is going to be same
Same.
or
Time is same.
same
Time
time.
is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.